All right, everybody. It is Kendall Anise, the Remix Coach. Welcome to season 4 of More Than Just a Movie. Right. This is going to be so today is just going to be a brainstorming to get us into season 4 of More Than Just a Movie. Did we start this during the pandemic, before the pandemic, Leroy? This is Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., my amazing co-host. We host this thing together. So I'm trying to think. I don't even remember because we do 2 seasons a
No,
year. So it has to be.
it was during the pandemic. I mean, because we started what two? This is it's been at least 2 years now. I think what we've done.
Yeah, we've done 2 seasons each year. So I guess so. So this is going into
Yeah.
the third year, though. Third year, fourth
Well,
season.
right. Yeah. This will be year three, but yeah, but we started it 2 years ago, technically 2 years ago. So because we're
Wow.
just
So think,
we're just entering into 2023, so we haven't even gotten into 2023 yet. So
yeah. So this is the fourth season of More Than Just a Movie. So there's a lot of movies. My daughter, when I was telling my daughter we were doing, continuing, and I was like, well, what movies? And I said, oh, Jump in the Broom. Then I was like, oh, Pursuit of Happiness. We didn't do that. Because at first my daughter was like, Ma,
can't
y'all
believe we
did
didn't do those
all,
two.
I know. And my daughter was like, Ma, y'all did all the movies already. I was like, no, there's more.
Yeah,
Because
there's a whole lot more.
we have done a lot of movies.
Yeah. Yeah, but you gotta think we have a plethora. Even if we just started back in the '90s
Oh,
and did the movies that we feel are black classic movies, because we've jumped back to the '70s with Claudine, of course.
yeah.
But we could go back. She talking Uptown Saturday Night. We ain't even touched none of those. Which
We
way is
did.
up?
A fish that says
We
Pittsburgh. A fish that says Pittsburgh. You remember that?
I remember the name, but I don't remember the
That was
the
where
movie. So.
that's where Debbie Allen and Norm Nixon met on the set. They were both actors on that set.
Oh,
They're
okay.
still married to this day. That was in the
Right.
70s. That was a good
Yeah.
one.
So, and then you think about the movies, all of the movies that came out in the '80s. Probably, the best era for music, movies, entertainment. Period. Had to been that '70s to '90s.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
20-year time span. The music was just absolutely phenomenal. The music was phenomenal. The movies were genuine. The movies were always filled packed with something. I mean, it's just a lot that we could do. Shoot, we could jump to the different genres. I mean, if we wanted to do the stand ups, we could do comedies. We Richard Pryor. We didn't even get into
That's
any of
true.
his stuff.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? So yeah.
So let's think about, I'm gonna look down our list. Let's think about some of the ones we did. The Inkwell, Lean on
hmm
Me, Love Jones was our first one. We did Why Do Fools Fall in Love? We did King Richard because we did a Will Smith feature. We did Just Right with Queen Latifah. We did my movie Head of State, Chris Rock. Low Down Dirty Shame. We did the New Edition story. We could stop right there.
I know, right?
We did Two Can Play That Game. We did Cooley High. We did Ray. We did Baby Boy. We did Hitch. We did Think Like a Man. We did I said Just Right. We honored Ruth Carter. Remember the people behind the scenes. We did a lot of the movie folks who were behind the scene. So we did What's Love Got to Do with It. We did All Things Regina King. I forgot about that. We did
hmm
The Wood with my boy, Richard T. Richard T. Jones. We did Out of Time. That's my movie. Denzel. We did Kim Come, which we cracked up about. We did a Tyler Perry month. We did Family That Prays. We did all things Janet Jackson. That was a long time ago. That was a year ago. We did all things Janet Jackson. We did Disappearing Acts. We did Soul Food. We did Waiting to Exhale. We did BAPS. We did, and that's when Troy Byer reached out to us and she recognized our show as she watched that episode. We did Mo Better Blues. We did Drumline. We did Antoine Fisher. We did The Best Man, the breakdown of Malcolm X. We did the whole Wayans family. We did Boys in the Hood. We did New Jack City. Leroy, we did a lot of movies.
I know.
Spike Lee month. She's Gotta Have It. We did The Brothers. We did Friday. Brown Sugar, one of my favorites. We did Ray. School Days. We did Trading Places. Good Deeds. Coming to America. Jungle Fever. I got Jungle Fever. She got how Stella got her groove back. We did House Party. You're a dream girl. We did Dream Girls. We did 5 Heartbeats. I mean, everybody loves 5 Heartbeats. We did the breakdown of the Jackson movie. Remember, that's when we celebrated the music movies. We did Boomerang. We did the breakdown of Marlon Wayans, all his movies. We did Harlem Nights. We did Diary of a Mad Black Woman. We honored Jennifer Lewis and Loretta Devine, the mothers of Black Hollywood. We did Jason's Lyric, Acrimony.
I got a question for you about that movie, Acrimony. Right?
Do the Right Thing. Okay, and Sparkle. Yeah, we did a lot.
Well, I got a question about the movie Acrimony. Because somebody was talking about it the other day. Did the guy in that movie, did he cheat on her in the beginning?
No, he didn't cheat on her. Well, when they were going together, he did with the young girl. Remember, she ran the car into the trailer.
Okay. But
he was in there kissing, but that's when they were teenagers. Yeah, and that's where she hurt herself, where she was never able to have kids again.
Okay.
Because she hurt herself putting that car into a
Because they were talking about it on Clubhouse. And I was like, I don't remember him cheating on her.
Yeah, he did when they were teenage, when they were in high school. He was kissing the girl that he ended up marrying on there.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, that's what they were referring to. That's what they were referring to when at the end when she comes to the to this penthouse. Yeah. And she comes walking out of the bedroom. It was the same. It was the same
girl. But that was before they were adults. That was before they were married. Yeah. So the whole time since that happened, the whole time they were thinking that they were making it like she was thinking that he was still cheating.
Right. That he had been, I guess, cheating doing while they were married with her, that they were still involved or whatever.
Right. Okay. Right. So she couldn't shake it. Right. So she couldn't shake it because she was thinking that he was still doing it. And he was trying to explain that he hadn't done that before. And I mean, since then, and that was when they were teenagers, but she was holding on to that. So there's so many movies, like you said. Go ahead.
No, and she was the one that actually helped him to be able to find the people that bought his invention. Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, but because she had that insecurity and then she had different signals and signs, and because she was doing, everything and how, they played that movie to be, she was still like, I've done all of this. I held it down. I lost my mom's house and the money and all of this stuff, and you go with her. But even though she was listening to her sisters and listening to, them pushing her out. But yeah, that was a movie. I seen that. I remember seeing that at the movies. But there are so many movies that we can do. All right, so we said all of those 70s movies. We're gonna do Jump in the Broom, We're going to do Pursuit of Happiness, which is so deep and so layered on the movies that those are
That was
that's a deep.
probably one of his best.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm like, darn. I'm sitting there thinking about we probably could have done a Will Smith month because
right.
we did. I know we did Ali.
We did Hitch. Did we do Ali?
I thought we did.
It's so many. I know we did. We
Yeah,
did because
but
when the
did we do Hitch?
yes, we did
I think we
Hitch.
did Hitch because I'm
Let
thinking
me see if
Hitch.
we did Ali. I don't think so.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of Jamie Foxx playing Bundini, but also Will. That was probably one of his best roles ever.
So
Was
let's do
playing.
a Will Smith one. So let's do Pursuit of Happiness,
Mm-hmm.
Ali. We already did Hitch. So let's see. So Pursuit of Happiness, Ali,
Trying to think of what else to do though.
which other? Because the other ones were action. We did King Richard already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
We
we
did.
can do those two. We can do Ali and we can
Mm.
do Pursuit of Happiness. And
I have to
then
look. I have to
because
look up his movies though because I think there might be a
Enemy of
couple
the
other ones.
State.
Well, we did Enemy of the State, right?
No. We just spotlighted Regina King and we talked about that.
Okay, yeah, the Enemy of the State. That's definitely a
That
good one.
movie still shakes me up.
that movie was art imitating life. You know what I'm saying?
That's why it shakes me up.
Yeah, yeah, because that
Let
was
me see.
real.
No, we
So
didn't
we
do that.
got
I just want to make sure. So,
so we
Enemy
got
of the State,
right. We got Enemy of the State, Ali. Um, what was the third one you said?
Pursuit of Happiness,
Yeah, Pursuit of Happiness. Those three. You writing
and
these down? Because I don't.
yeah, and I'm right, and I'm reading the book for the fifth time. I'm almost done,
Yeah,
and I
you were
think
telling
that
me.
might be. My kids be like, "Mom," because I first like I've read it, I listened to the audio, I actually read the pages. It's just so many nuggets, and even now, as reading it again, I had to pause it a couple of times and listen. Even in the movie, because I don't know if you saw with Taraji, she was like, "I'm just not happy, and I haven't been happy, like for real happy, in a long time." She was doing an interview with Angie Martinez,
Mm-mm.
and she was
No,
like,
she
what used
looked
to
like.
make me happy." Yeah, she said what used to make her happy, and ironically, my shirt says happiness. Go figure.
Yeah,
I mean,
she she looks like she's unhappy.
yeah, she is, and she's saying that but everybody that meets her says she is a light. She is a joy to be around.
Hmm.
Everybody that meets her says that she is phenomenal. So she gives so much away. They say she encourages, she inspires everybody. Like
But
everybody, from when she gets on the set, from somebody who's cleaning somebody's shoe down to everybody. That's her reputation in Hollywood. Everybody speaks highly of her. She gives so
but but
much away.
but that's the thing that we have to understand that when we do so much pouring, we have to get poured into. And
Yeah,
and the question I would have to her is who's pouring into you?
right. And that's what she said. She's going to Bali for a month by herself. She says she's never traveled a month. She says she can't depend on her girlfriends, her mama, or anybody to make her happy. Like she has to do
Right.
it for herself. And she said what did used to make her happy, it doesn't. And even reading
Mhm.
Will Smith's book again, when I'm listening to the audio this time, he says the question that stumped him, one of the ones that stumped him when he started seeking help to try to get, on his journey. Everybody has that journey. And said, what makes you happy? Like for real. And he went on the journey to start really looking and seeing. And most people, every now and then, because I get it, I understand. Like certain times, the happiness is not like fully there for me.
Mhm.
Not fully, if we want to be real. So I
Well,
get
I
it.
mean, I think we have periods of
Yeah.
just disappointment, frustration, and all of those things. But I think when it comes to me, when it comes to those I mean, they're A-list entertainers. You know,
Mm-hmm.
folks tend to think that they have any and everything that they could want. There's nothing that they can't.
Yeah.
But the old adage
Yeah.
is, which is true, money can't buy happiness. So,
No.
you know, they have to find, and I appreciate Taraji and Will saying, you know, asking
Yeah.
that question to themselves, what makes you happy? Because I think Will told Jada, I can't make you happy. I
Yeah.
can't do that. You have to
He
do
said
that from
everybody
within.
around him, he said everybody around, he talks about this in his book, everybody around him was miserable. He was making everybody miserable, he said. And he had to look
Yep.
to see, like, what is it? And he said
What
when
is it?
he had to be, one of his friends send him a text talking about, you know, sending a Rumi text, the writer Rumi, and it was saying something about, you know, spending time with yourself. He started talking about that, I should say. And the guy said he was enlightening his friend because he had gone on a 10-day retreat, a silent retreat, not saying anything, just trying to
Wow.
get back to him. So Will was like, of course, I was like, what? I ain't doing that, but he said I had to top him. So I wanted to try it for 2 weeks. He said I went to our house in Utah and I
You
made
have a
sure,
house in Utah.
because they think about it, because they have a house in Utah because they spend Christmases when it's cold. Like Jada, he said Jada sacrificed so much in the relationship. He says this because everything was going on the Will train. That one of her requirements is she just wants to spend 2 weeks with the family in during Christmas in a cold place, like with snow and stuff like that. So they go there every year. That's one of their places. So that's why they have it there. And I'm sure they got other cold place ones. But he said he decided to go to the cabin for 2 weeks by himself for a silence retreat. No TV, no movies. He downloaded books on his iPad, but no internet, no everything. And he was like, at first, he was like, I don't even want to be around me. Like, how do I even do that? You know, he said, so if I don't, why would somebody else? And then, of course, he started going on his journey with that, like being by himself. He said he never was by himself. He said the total in his life that he wasn't in a relationship was like 5 weeks.
But like I told you, and we've talked about this before, that's what the pandemic forced people to do. To have to be by themselves.
Yeah.
Who weren't, you know, but you know, those that had relationships or were in relationships or were married and stuff like that, they had to be in that area with those people along with being with themselves.
Yeah.
And that's you know, that can be very tough for some people.
Yeah. Especially if you always have people around and you're, and like
Hmm.
Will Smith, his think about his career. He's the largest selling movie star in history. In history. So it was one thing, because even with, he said he wasn't, when he first got his heart broken when he was a teenager and the girl and his girlfriend cheated on him. And he talks about, he said he would never get caught slipping with his life and his heart feeling like that. So he said he was like monkey bars from one woman to the next. So he didn't feel certain pains. So he said he never was by himself. Then you become Will Smith and you got bodyguards, you got friends, you got managers, you got agents. He never was by himself because of safety, physical safety, and emotional safety.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
years
but
ago, he decided in his 40s to do that. And you know, he's in his 50s now. But
mhm.
I think it's deep. I mean, oh, so we speaking of movies, we can talk about this for real when we could do a whole show talking about
Yeah,
these.
absolutely.
We
Yeah,
should
especially
for real.
soon we'll be dealing with when we're dealing with him, and we don't have to stay on him necessarily, but you can just we can just I mean we talked about Taraji as well, but a lot of times those entertainers, you know, they put on that mask,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, they may seem to be happy on the outside, but they're miserable on the inside. They got the money, the cars, the fame, the notoriety, but you and I've said this before too, that comes at a cost.
Did you see the interview with Angie? I mean, with
No.
Taraji? I'm
No,
gonna send
I
it to
saw
you.
like a clip, I think, on YouTube or something like that. I don't know if that was that one,
I'm gonna
but I
send
know
it
she
to
was
you.
being interviewed by somebody, and she was saying that she didn't think that she was ever really happy. You know
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
send you
saying?
the whole thing. That whole interview was powerful and
Mm,
authentic and transparent. And that's
yeah.
what it's talking about. Because her podcast, that one is about life, like people talking about real life, not fluffy stuff. So, what award did you get for this? Or what award? It's the kind of conversations that you and I like to have.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was tearing up at the end. My daughter said she was tearing up at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Powerful.
And you never know what somebody's going through, or even what it takes to get to certain things. Because always, the song by T.D. Jakes and Kirk Franklin, 911, the conversation that they have in that song, you know, Kirk Franklin goes, but you're TD Jakes. He was like, but you don't know what it took to get. He was like, you on the front of Time magazine. He said, but you don't know what it took to get on the front of Time magazine. And people tend to think that those that are in the spotlight don't have problems, don't have issues,
Yeah.
and they suffer just like us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's evident. Did you see that list of folks that I don't know if they had a combined list of folks that had passed away, but those entertainers that had killed themselves
No, I didn't see
in
that.
2020 2022.
Oh, I didn't see
I'm
that.
just like, man. Or I don't think it was just 2022. It could be because it was like Robin Williams, um, what's his name, Twitch, um, who it was a couple of other ones. The guy from Anthony Bourdain, I think from
Yeah.
CNN or
Yeah.
MSNBC. A couple other folks that were big names or whatever, that they took their lives. And it shows us that, hey, just because you may have notoriety or fame, and you may have uh, money, doesn't make you you know doesn't guarantee your happiness.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't guarantee that you're going to be,
It
you
almost
know,
complicates it.
I think it can. And I think part of that, to me, this is just me, I think part of that is just that, um, that comes with a price, comes with a cost, and a lot of folks are willing to do any and everything to get there, and it costs them everything.
Mm.
It can cost them, it has cost a lot of people. It's, yeah, as we both know, it's cost some people their soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoo!
they they sell their soul to get that notoriety, to
Yeah,
get that
they do.
fame.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that fame, I mean, it crosses industries. I'm talking from politics
Yeah.
to religion, to
Yeah.
all of it,
Yeah.
any of them. People, they hunger or they thirst so much
Yeah.
for being in that spotlight, that they're willing to do anything to get the spotlight, and to get the power and the money that
Yeah.
comes with it.
Yeah. It's so true.
You know,
We need to do a whole show on that. We do. We need to do
yeah,
a whole show on that mental wellness, or let's do a show called What is Happiness? We should. Or Are
yeah.
You Happy? I think I'm gonna do one. Think of people. I'm gonna think of some people. Are you happy? I'm gonna think of, yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah, I
And
mean, 'cause it needs to be talked about, because it's just, there's so much that's going on, and I understand folks don't want, there's certain aspects of our lives that we don't tell everybody, and everybody shouldn't be privy to it. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
right.
Shouldn't be
Everybody.
privy to it. And that's fine. But at the end of the day, when when you find yourself having to put on this mask, as we both know, Will Smith wore the mask
Yeah, it
big
was
time.
called Uncle Fluffy. Like his Uncle Fluffy, he calls his therapist
Well,
called it to the one that pleased everybody, wanted to do everybody,
mhm.
wanted to smile all the time. When Will Smith was dying inside,
Yep.
but Uncle Fluffy is the one that he said made the money. He made the choices and the decisions that got him to his career, but sometimes it was sacrificing him. Like he never said no to people. He always said yes. He always, even if he was tired, even if he was sad, even if he was trying to figure it out, he was always up and bubbly, and sometimes inside he didn't feel like that. So his therapist called it Uncle Fluffy. Then he had the general, which was like, this is the order, because he was raised by, a military man. This is the way it's supposed to go. So it's different roles, and it's so profound. Like, I'm telling you, that book, yeah, you find out more about Will Smith's business and his journey and all of that. Yeah, you find that out in the book, but it's so many gems and jewels in that book about life. And I just respect him so much for going there, because some people don't go there where they put all of it out there. Like, it wasn't to paint Will Smith as this amazing person. It was like to paint Will Smith as this human being that's going through life with scars and trauma and trying to figure it out. And I'm like stuff like that. And my daughters be like, you listening again or watching? Because it's just like I said, 5 times. And I had to pause the audio today and go back to like, dang, that's deep.
Yeah. And that's the thing about when you're able to I guess the good thing about whether it's a book, because you can mark it in the book.
Yeah.
But you have the audio as well, so you can go and you can take your time.
Yes.
To listen to it. You don't have to be in a rush or anything like that. And if the things that you want to be able to take notes on, you can do that, because you can stop it and then you can start it again, as opposed to saying, I'm trying to get through it. You've gone through it, and now you can say, I can really dig deeper into it.
Yeah.
And learn some lessons, from it and everything like that. And that's what, hopefully it does.
Because I first wanted to read it. Yeah. Because at first I wanted to read the pages. Like, I have the book, it's like this thick. I wanted to read it because you put yourself in places. You know how it is when you read, like, you can imagine. Then the way that he did. Then when I went to the audio, I read all the time, just like you, and listen to audio books as well. I never seen a soul. This audio book was produced better than any I've ever listened to, because
what you expect from Will Smith?
I know it's music in it, it's voice. I mean, it's just incredible. Cicely Tyson's was good too, but
honestly,
but that Will.
Yeah, and he seems like that kind of dude where, hey, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right, and he has the resources to be able to do it the best. Because I remember Kobe talked about that with the children's book that he did. He wanted the best of whoever, like the best graphic designer, the best videographers. He wanted the best people, and he had the means to be able to pay for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I look at Will Smith the same way. Will's like, okay, who do we need to do this? Who do we need to do this? Who do we need to do this? Who do we need to do this?
Perfect.
And he just went down the list. And who's going to say no to Will Smith?
It felt right. It felt like you were looking at a movie. It felt like, I mean, that audio, how he did it and how produced it was phenomenal. I'm telling you, I read the book from front to back and listened to the audio multiple times. And I'm telling you, the 5th time, I'm still getting, that's how entertaining, because you ain't going to keep going back to something that's boring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even with Cicely Tyson's book, I listened to the audio twice. It's so good. I'm not above listening the 3rd time. And now hers is not because of how it was produced per se. Hers is because of the story. Will Smith's is because of both. The production and just the gems in there. But that is Cicely Tyson, that autobiography. I love autobiographies because I love to see someone's journey and from an honest place and a real place. You know what I mean? That I love to see those nuances of people. Powerful. All right. So Will Smith, let's do Pursuit of Happiness. We said, I forgot that quick. Let me see.
That's why I said write it down.
Yeah, I am. Pursuit of Happiness.
Ali.
We need to put in
Enemy of the State.
Enemy of the State. We could
do
Bad
Boys.
Boys.
Didn't we do Bad Boy? We didn't do Bad Boys?
We just talked about it when we talked about Martin and him.
Okay, well, Bad Boys will be the fourth.
Concussion. Have you ever watched that one?
What is it?
That Concussion, Will Smith, when he's talking about
No.
CTE. Oh,
no, I never watched it. I never watched it.
That one is good. But let's do, okay, so Enemy of the State, Pursuit of Happiness, Bad Boys, and
Enemy of the State.
I said that already.
Yeah, so, Enemy of the State, Ali,
Pursuit of Happiness, and
Bad Boy. Those are 4.
All right, let's kick off. We're going to kick off season 4 with Will Smith. On this season. All right, anything you want to say? You happy about the season?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, so we're going to start the season January 19th.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, January 19th, season 4 of More Than Just a Movie. So how will we do that? So maybe we should do another movie and then start Will Smith February, you think? So we can do all 4? How you want to do it?
Well, yeah, we can do Jump in the Broom?
Jump in the Broom, and let's think of another one. Maybe Jump in the Broom. Did you see Baggage Claim?
Yes, that was good. That was good. Yeah.
So let's do those 2. In both, let's do Jump in the Broom and Baggage Claim for this month, and let's kick off Will Smith in February.
And I'm gonna hurt you if you don't write this down, because I'm not able to write it down. I'm looking to see if you write it down.
Okay. Ali, Pursuit of Happiness,
Enemy of the State,
Enemy of the State,
and Bad Boys.
Bad Boys for life. All right, so that's Will Smith month.
That's February.
Oh, we should do some love movies in February, dang, or Black History, but that could be both. All right, so, and then we're going to do Jump in the Broom. That's good conversation. And Baggage Claim. Those are good conversations.
Mm-hmm.
January. So the last 2 weeks of January, we're going to do those. And then Will Smith that month of February. All right, that sounds good. Leroy, like I always say, and everybody knows you are my brother. I could not do this show without you because I don't know anybody that's more passionate about movies than you. I don't. That's seen them all. They got an input. You know what I mean? That got a different perspective like me, like just going off on not even a movie, but something pertain. I don't know nobody else I could do this with. I'm telling you. All right. And y'all pray for my daughter, Leroy. No, she just got into an accident and we were waiting for the police to come. So they finally just came. So I'm about to call her, but y'all, as we were starting this show, that's when it happened. So pray for her. Somebody hit her on the highway. Whew. Always something, but she was able to call me. So that's why I'm able to do this show. Like God is good. Like she was able to call. Some people can't call. You get what I'm saying?
No, exactly.
So I'm grateful. Even in the bad things, which I'm about to handle, there's still God's grace right in there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So my heart is beating fast. I'm getting ready to call her, but she's saying they just got there and then she'll call in a second. But yeah. All right. So More Than Just a Movie, where we break down classic Black films. Love you, man. Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe. I'm almost